calling me Rachel?
Oh.
I can only get it one way because I can't get on
Facebook. He's been in there.
Hi.
And it's very hard for this man to come up and explain to you what has gone on, and you're not hearing it from the papers who tell shit lies. You're hearing it from the man himself. Give this gentleman a round of applause. Justice for beach survivors. Give a man another round of applause, please. Thank you guys. I don't want to do public speeches, so let's start by telling you about me. My name's Alan Merritt. I was in care from the age of 2. They called it respite care when I was put in and out of care. I was in 5 children's home up to the age of 6. When I was 6 years of age, the judge said to me, would you like to go to the seaside? So I went before a juvenile court. I had the big crest on the wall with the horse or the unicorn. And the judge looked down at me, a little boy, and he said, would you like to go to the seaside, Teddy boy? And I said to him, seaside? I've never been to the seaside. And they put me in a children's home called Beach Home in Banstead, Surrey, where I was abused in 3 of the 4 houses I was in. There were 24 houses in this home, and people committed suicide for the abuse that was happening in Beach Home.
Oh my God.
And basically, I'm 64 years of age, and to this day, me standing here today, I've never received my care records. It was said earlier on when they were speaking over there that records have been held back from kids. Now, Wandsworth were responsible for Beach Home, and I went in there when I was 6. I went in a house called Laburnum. They named every house after a tree. Laburnum was run by a house parent. We had to call them aunties. We had to. They said you have to call them aunties and uncles. The male staff were uncles. Auntie Grace Robinson, her name was. If you saw Hilda Ogden in Coronation Street, she was the splitting image. Evil, horrible woman in real life. She used to slap, when they put you in shorts, she used to slap your legs constantly. They used to put you in the bath, and in the bath they used to scrub you with a floor scrubbing brush. Scum. And they used to put carbolic soap in your eyes, in your mouth. They used to touch you in the bath, and they used to do all sorts of things to you. Go on, mate. Go on, mate. There was another woman in this house called Audrey Wilson. And I was in a dormitory one night, and she came into this.
You're the victim. Stand strong.
She came to this bedroom, and she started touching me in the bed. And Beach Home was lined by trees, and that's what it was called, Beach Home, because it was lined by beech trees. And the street lights used to make a dancing pattern on the ceiling, and this dancing pattern was broken by this shadow. It's leaning over me, a really big woman standing over me and touching me. I was only about 7 or 8. I'd never ever wet the bed, and I actually pissed the bed. I crawled into a corner of the bed, and I hid and I curled into a little ball, and I stayed there till morning light, and I was so petrified, and I got beaten, knocked down the stairs for wetting the bed. They told me to take my bed sheets and wash them in the bath. I did that, and I was constantly beaten and abused in this house. I went to the Larch House, and there was a guy called Ian McNeil, Uncle Ian. He was a very, very strong, fit man. He used to punch you with his fist. He punched me so hard one day, he lifted me off the ground and knocked me into the next room. He used to grab hold of me, and he used to put you in a headlock. And he was so strong, I couldn't do anything. He was rubbing up against me, and I couldn't do anything. He used to pin you to the floor, and he used to do all sorts of things to you. I couldn't do nothing. I wasn't strong enough. I ran away from Beach Home several times. I went to Metropolitan Police and told them about the abuse that went in the Beach Home. They took me back in the Black Maria and put me before Geoffrey Banner, the superintendent of the home. And he said, little boys like you that tell lies get sent away. You'll be sent to a mental institution, or you'll be sent to Stanford House.
Just like Melanie
And so we weren't allowed to speak. We didn't have a voice. And as I said, to this day, while I was in care, I should have had medical records. We didn't know what drugs they were giving us. I haven't seen any of the records. They should have given us records of our welfare. Because when we were child, we called it your child care officers, CCOs. And supervision orders were taken out of us and we were put in seminars. I had a short stay in Shirley Oaks, and Shirley Oaks, we know about Shirley Oaks. Beach Home was twice the size of Shirley Oaks, with 24 houses in it. It had a church, which burnt down in 1968, and that was done by Melanie Children. There was a girl called Vicky Campion who was abused by the superintendent of Beach Home, Mr. Jeffrey Banner. She took her own life. And there was another girl called Mary Nelson. She jumped off Westminster Bridge near the House of the Parliament and committed suicide. Was her name ever mentioned? No. And to this day, has there ever been an inquiry into Beach Home and the historic and physical, sexual and mental abuse that happened to children in the 60s and 70s? It closed in 1972 and Wandsworth Council were responsible for Beach Home as from 64, but it was part of the old GLC, London County Council, when I was a boy, and I was born in Hammersmith, and it was Hammersmith that placed me, took supervision orders out of me and put me into care. All my four of us, my two sisters and my other brother, we were all put in Beach Home. I was the youngest of the four, and even when I was young at 4, my abuse started at home because my dad used to hit us with a leather belt. I used to climb under a table, there was a cardboard box under the table, and I suffered for 20 years, and I kind of like met my wife and I tried to bury it and forget about it. And one day, because I live in Lincolnshire, not in the next county now, with my wife, Lincolnshire girl, good girl. And I used to have night tremors, even when I was in my 30s. And my wife used to calm me down and pat me. And I used to jump up fighting in the room in the middle of the night, because I could see this shadow through the light coming through the window. And I saw a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist said to me there was nothing wrong with you. The only thing wrong with you is your memory, and it will never ever let you forget. Mentally, you're not ill, but you've suffered some trauma from life. And London was like my Beirut when I was a young kid. I slept rough on the streets of London, and I didn't really have a life right up to my 20s, probably 28. And when I met my wife, and I got married when I was about 35, and I'm 64 now. So what I've got and what I've done it all on my own.
Well done.
Hey.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Well done, mate.
Before this man goes,
That takes courage, son.
give this man a round of applause, please.
Hey!
Hey!
Thank you, Sarah. And that's what you're hearing. We're getting more and more people coming out and whistle blowing.
You are a hero.
It's so hard, all this, don't they, forever in the car, now it's all coming out now.
Just think, we're all one family. We're all one family now.
Yeah.
We have got to get justice.
That they used my abuse against me with Amelia.
Because he's perpetrated, got to be prosecuted.
Well, I'm just shaking the man's hand. All right. If only we could have more people coming on the streets and coming to these places, it'd be a better world. Because we don't hide it away. Please, if you know anybody, please send them to come out, because we are here to help them. Every one of us who's turned up today, because everyone's got a story to say. You might not want to say it, keep it in your head, but eventually we will fight this cause. If it takes us 30 years, 40 years, all right, this will stop. I guarantee you, this will stop.
Justice.
We've got another young lady coming up called Amanda, who knows a bit about Melanie. Okay, so give this young lady a round of applause, please. You might not be able to understand her, 'cause
Anyone got an interpreter? Because she don't come from England.
And I'm fast as well.
And she's fast as well. I don't say she comes from Newcastle.
Go on, Ange.
Right, well, my name's Angie and I'm gagged with a immediate arrest warrant, so couldn't end up in one of these places myself. So, you know, we're a Borough Council, phoned it up yesterday and I told you, you wait till I get to there on Saturday, you wait and watch how much I fuck you right up, so I swear.
Go on, girl. Go on, girl.
Here we go.
Come on, me little baby.
Sorry, I put this on. I haven't put this on.
She's worked so hard doing this. She has gone right through the international inquiry into child sexual abuse at Beechwood. She has started to put things together, different homes, statements from victims.
Ladies next.
Okay, so the first victim in Beechwood. Now, when I started putting together this, I literally thought Beechwood was just one home. Oh no, you've got Beechwood as one home. Well, you've got Beechwood as one home. Then you've got 4 separate units. You've got You've got 4 separate units attached to Beechwood. You've got Redcott, you've got Lindens, you've got Enderley, you've got an administration block. You've also got a doctor's, a school, a football pitch and woods. Now this is a 6-acre complex, would you believe? Massive. Now they were meant to be keeping the kids on this ground and locking them up. They had no doors on the windows, no doors on the door frames. So it meant that paedophiles could pervert them in the back. But anyway, right, so I've gone into the inquiry. Oh my God, I'm shaking because I know it's coming up. Just from Beechwood, this was a staff member. You know, you just said that you didn't get anything, your files were. Well, these are only the ones that have been charged. These are not the ones that they're hiding. This is the ones that have been charged. There's a girl in Beechwood. She was in a home and she witnessed a girl in the same home being escorted to a residential house between Lindens and Redcott, which was on the Beechwood ground. So that means the staff were taking these kids and moving these kids and raping them, right? She returned in a distressed state. She told the residents she was being sexually abused by a man that lived there, and she was in fear that the same would happen to her. That was one child. Number 2, they had staff houses also on this complex as well. So when these staff were living on the ground, so these paedophilia. Whilst in the members of the staff flat, he would touch them up, touched his penis over his clothing, and was also another member of flat. But there was also another member of staff there, but he didn't do nothing. Right, so these were taking the kids back to the, you know, the homes. This one, wow, you want to hear this one. Okay, so bear in mind, I've come to the conclusion that this kid was drugged before he was even took to this place. Because it says, he was brought to a flat near Victoria bus station in Nottingham by an adult man. Met with adult men, given heroin and cannabis, and raped by an unknown man. An adult, money £40 to £60 to do with selling these children.
You were prostituting
the children, right? £40 to £60 was given to the man that brought him there, and he thought this was a member of staff. Now, how can he think that? He knows that's a member of staff, they know that's a member of staff. They're just saying they think because he can't remember. Well, he was probably drugged, that's what Melanie Shaw said. They were drugging all the kids in the homes. This is the same home that Melanie Shaw was in, by the way. So, Melanie Shaw is sat behind that block when we've got this in front of our face. Wow. Here we go. Do you know what? We'll go, anyway, there's loads, and there's one with a little girl. She's had a wooden pole shoved up her vagina at 6 years old. 6 years old, guys, in a home. 6 years old. You know, it's absolutely disgusting what has gone on in this kid's home, right? A member of staff digitally penetrated. Does anybody know what that is, these words, these legalese words? It means putting the finger up the bum and anally putting the finger up the bum. Right, that's what digital penetration is, right the way through the inquiry. Everything's right the way through the inquiry, right? Digitally penetrated the boy, fondled his genitals while he was supervising the boy in the bath, and he reported to the head of the home. The complainant was moved to Beechwood for 6 weeks and then returned, and the member of staff had gone. But anyway, right, there's loads, but off the top of my head, there's one, right? Now, Melanie Shaw is basically saying in her videos that she said that basically Mark is a seller, basement raper. Mark Lucy Griffiths, his name was. Now, basically, there was a boss who was the head of Beechwood. Now, he used to rape the children. Yeah, he used to rape the children in the 1960s. Now, when he got too old to rape the children, then this Mark Lucy Griffiths, he hired this Mark Lucy Griffiths in. Now, he attempted to murder Melanie Shaw, so he's a serial killer. The government have been hiding that they've got a serial killer, and they damn well know about it because it was all done through the Home Office. So I think the Home Office has something to say about this. It's all been running through them. The paedophilia scandal, it all goes back to the Home Office. And, oh yeah, basically Melanie Shaw said that a staff came in and they stamped on him to death, and it was a direct order to get the kid off him. Now that's in the National Inquiry in 2015, it's in there. You know, so Melanie Shaw was telling the truth all along, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Now these are only hiding it because they've got a mass paedophilia problem going on. It's everywhere.
We've got a mass paedophilia problem across England.
And you know what? These social services, now I know, are running a child brothel. Because that's what we should call it now.
Yeah.
It's a children's brothel.